Good morning, everyone. How are you today? Today, I'm going to tell you a story which is titled The Legend of the Red Moon. Okay, let's start it. Tonight, Jimmy is excited to be visiting his grandfather's village. Everything here is beautiful. And tonight, there is a lunar eclipse. Jimmy loves seeing the unusual red moon. Jimmy decides to make a painting of the moon over the village. But he is suddenly interrupted by shouts from a group of villagers who have gathered outside. Jimmy runs to ask his grandpa what is happening. The villagers are worried about the moon. Whenever the moon changes like this, we believe an evil wolf is attacking it. Only our shouts and noise will chase it away. Since I am the major, I must tell everyone when to begin. Jimmy is surprised. Grandpa, do you really believe that's old tale? This has been our tradition for a very long time, Grandpa says. You are too young to understand. But Jimmy does not give up. Grandpa, this is just an old legend. The moon is changing color because of lunar eclipse. If we wait a few minutes, the moon will return to its normal color on its own. No, Jimmy, only our ritual will stop the moon from suffering. I can't believe this, Jimmy shouts. What if I could prove to you that banging pots and pans does nothing to the moon? I will wait for you, Grandpa says, but the villagers are impatient. Just give me a few minutes. I think I saw a science book upstairs. Jimmy searches frantically for a book that will explain the lunar eclipse, but he cannot find anything. Jimmy slowly walks back down the stairs. It seems that you didn't find the book, Jimmy. Grandpa says, I'll have to go and give them the signal. Please, Grandpa, Jimmy said. These are tales. I studied eclipses at school. Jimmy held his grandpa's hand and said, look at the moon. As they looked out the window, Jimmy remembered the scientific observatory on the top of the mountain. I'll show you, he said. Come with me to the observatory, Grandpa. Let's go. On their way to the observatory, the villagers stopped them. Where are you going? They asked. We are waiting for the signal to bang our pots and set the moon free. Please wait for us, Jimmy explains. We will be back soon. At the observatory, Jimmy and his grandpa meet a scientist. Can you explain to my grandpa what happens in a lunar eclipse? Jimmy asks. Of course, the man says. Right now, the earth is exactly between the sun and the moon. It is the earth's shadows that darkens the moons. Interesting, Grandpa says. The scientist continues. A small amount of light from the sun shines through the earth's atmosphere. This turns the moon red. Look through this telescope. If you watch for a few moments, you will see the shadow crossing over the moon. I see, Grandpa said. There are no wolves up there after all. It is quite something to see how this happens naturally. Okay, do you finally believe me, Grandpa? Jimmy shouted. Jimmy and Grandpa return to the village and find that everyone is waiting anxiously for them. My friends, Grandpa says, I have something amazing to share with you. I have learned tonight about why the moon turns red. It is called a lunar eclipse, and it is a normal, natural phenomenon. We do not need to bang the pots. One of the men steps forward. If you don't bang on the pots, I will do it instead. We must save the moon. An old woman speaks up as well. We all know that a wolf is killing the moon and he won't go away until we scare him. This has always worked before. I want to bang on my pots too, a small child shouts. Grandpa feels discouraged that his news has not changed the minds of the villagers. But Jimmy has an idea. He whispers quietly to Grandpa. Then Jimmy turns to the crowd. Listen, everyone. On our way down the mountain, we met a man who heard the wolf howling not far from here. If we bang on our pots now, it will know where we are and attack us instead of the moon. Everyone is terribly frightened of the wolf. They all drop their pans and run back to their homes. A few minutes later, Jimmy notices that his moon's colors has returned to normal. Look, Grandpa, the red color is gone and we did not bang one pot. It isn't long before the villagers notice too. They are surprised, but happy to see that the major and his grandson were right. The next time there is an eclipse, they will be able to celebrate the moon and this amazing natural phenomenon. Okay, the end. Thank you, everyone.